Hey YouTube, I'm going to pick up right here. We're on chapter 2, page 76. Behold a pale horse. I'm going to read until I get tired of reading. Now, if they believe you will be affected, the Knights Templar were founded sometime during the 11th century in Jerusalem by the purs for the express purpose of guarding the remaining relics of Jesus and to provide military protection for the religious travelers during their pilgrimage to the holy city. The purs was a religious order founded upon Mount Zion in Jerusalem. The order set for itself the goal of preserving and recording the bloodline of Jesus and the house of David through every means available to them. The Purs had found and retrieved the remaining relics. These relics were entrusted to the Knights Templar for safekeeping. I am amazed at the authors of the Holy Blood, Holy Grail, and the information that they have unearthed. Most of all, I am amazed at their inability to put the puzzle together. The treasure hidden in France is not the treasure of the Temple of Jerusalem. It is the Holy Grail itself, the robe of Jesus, the last remaining pieces of the cross of crucifixion, and according to my sources, someone's bones. I can tell you that the reality of the bones will shake the world to its very foundations. If I have been told the truth, the relics are hidden in France. I know the location, and so do the authors of the Holy Blood, Holy Grail, but they do not know that they know, or do they? Adam Weishaupt, a young professor of canon law at Ingolstadt University in Germany, was a Jesuit priest and an initiate of the Illuminati. The branch of the order he founded in Germany in 1776 was the same Illuminati previously discussed. The Jesuit connection is important, as you will see later in this chapter. Researchers agree that he was financed by the House of Rothschild, the same Rothschild family mentioned in Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Weishaupt advocated abolition of all ordered national governments, abolition of inheritance, abolition of private property, abolition of patriotism, abolition of the individual home and family life as the cell from which all civilization has stemmed, and abolition of all religions established and existing, so that the Luciferian ideology of totalitarianism may be imposed on mankind. In the same year that he founded the Illuminati, he published Wealth of Nations, the book that provided the ideological foundation for capitalism and for the Industrial Revolution. It is no accident that the Declaration of Independence was written in the same year. On the obverse of the Great Seal of the United States, the wise will recognize the all-seeing eye and other signs of the Brotherhood of the Snake. Every tenet was the same. Date and beliefs confirm that Weishaupt's Illuminati is the same as the Afghan Illuminated Ones and the other cults which called themselves Illuminated. The Alumbrados of Spain were the same as were the Illuminated Gironets of France. The United States. In the United States, they were known as Jacobin clubs, secrets within secrets within secrets, but always at the heart is the Brotherhood. I believe that Weishaupt was betrayed and set up for persecution because he ignored the rule that the word Illuminati, or the existence of the Brotherhood, would never be exposed to public knowledge. His exposure and outlawing accomplished several goals of the still hidden and still very powerful Brotherhood. It allowed members to debunk claims of its existence on the grounds that the Illuminati had been exposed and outlawed and thus was no longer a reality. It allowed members to deny allegations of conspiracy of any kind. The Brotherhood of the Snake is adept at throwing out decoys to keep the dogs at bay. Wassup may have been a fool, or he may have been doing exactly what he was told. Wassup said, "The great strength of our order lies in its concealment. Let it never appear in its own name, but always covered by another name and another occupation." Allegations that the Freemason organizations were infiltrated by the Illuminati during Wassup's reign are hogwash. The Freemasons have always contained the core of the Illuminati within their ranks, and that is why they so freely and so willingly took in and hid the members of Wassup's group. You cannot really believe that the Freemasons, if they were only a simple fraternal organization, would have risked everything, including their very lives, by taking in and hiding outlaws who had been condemned by the monarchies of Europe. It is mainly Freemason authors who have perpetuated the myth that Adam Wassup was the founder of the Illuminati and that the Illuminati was destroyed, never to surface again. In 1826, an American Freemason wrote a book revealing Masonic secrets entitled Illustrations of Freemasonry. One of the secrets that he revealed is that the last mystery at the top of the Masonic pyramid is the worship of Lucifer. We have since learned the secret of the story of the murder of Hiram Abif. Hiram Abif represents intelligence, liberty, and truth, and was struck down by a blow to the neck with a rule representing the suppression of speech by the church. Then he was struck in the heart with a square representing the suppression of belief by the state. And finally, he was struck on the head by a maul representing the suppression of intellect by the masses. Freemasonry thus equates the church, the state, and masses with tyranny, intolerance, and ignorance. What Morgan revealed was that the Freemasons were pledged to avenge Hiram Abif, and that their plan was to strike down the church, the state, and the freedom of the masses. Morgan caused a small uproar against the Masons. The small uproar turned into a full-blown anti-Freemason movement when the author William Morgan disappeared. Morgan had apparently been abducted and drowned in Lake Ontario. It was alleged that fellow Masons had done it, a claim that they deny to this day. Who else would have done it? I believe they murdered him. The newspapers of the time state without reservation that he was murdered by Masons. The oath of initiation into the Freemasons state that if secrets are told, the initiate will be murdered. A nationwide furor ensued that resulted in the creation of an anti-Masonic political party in 1829 by Henry Dana Ward, Thurlow Weed, and William H. Seward. Interest in several anti-Masonic books was revived during that period, with the result that Freemasonry suffered a severe loss of membership. It lasted only a few years, and by 1840, the anti-Masonic party was extinct. Time really does cure all ills. We know that the British Freemasons are totally self-serving group. that are a totally self-serving group that discriminates in favor of its own whenever jobs, promotions, contracts, or careers are concerned. The English Freemason organization was used by the KGB to infiltrate and take over British intelligence. British intelligence is synonymous with Chatham House, more commonly known as the Royal Institute for International Affairs, the parent organization of the Council on Foreign Relations in the United States. The English State Police, Scotland Yard, ordered its personnel not to join the Masons for fear the same would happen to them. Of course, you have been told all of your life that the Freemasons are only a benevolent fraternal organization bent only on community service. Read on, oh innocent one. Probably the most notorious Freemason lodge is the P2 Lodge in Italy. This group has been implicated in everything from bribery to assassination. P2 is directly connected to the Vatican, the Knights of Malta, and to the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency. It is powerful and dangerous. The P2 Lodge has succeeded in infiltrating the Vatican and has scored a coup of tremendous significance. The Pope, John Paul II, has lifted the ban against Freemasonry. Many high-level members of the Vatican are now Freemasons. I tell you now that Freemasonry is one of the most wicked and terrible organizations upon this earth. The Masons are major players in the struggle for world domination. The 33rd degree is split into two. One split contains the core of the Luciferian Illuminati, and the other contains those who have no knowledge of it whatsoever. All of the intelligence officers that I worked for while in naval intelligence were Masons. As I stated before, I believe that my association with the De Molay Society as a young adult may have been the reason that I was selected for naval security and intelligence. However, that is only a guess. I had intended to go into great detail linking P2, the Pure de Cyan, the Vatican, the CIA organizations for a United Europe, and the Bilderberg Group. Fortunately, Michael Bajan, Richard Lee, and Henry Lincoln beat me to it. I say fortunately because they confirmed my previous allegation that I published in my paper, The Secret Government, that the CIA had plants called moles deep within the Vatican. I do not wish to be called a plagiarist, so you must read Holy Blood, Holy Grail, and the Messianic Legacy, both by Bajan, Lee, and Lincoln. Any reputable bookstore should carry them. Between pages 343 and 361 of the Messianic Legacy, you can read the alliance of power that resulted in a secret world government. Most members of the Freemasons are not aware that the Illuminati practices what is known as secrets within secrets, or organizations within organizations. That is one purpose of initiation. I cannot excuse any of the members. However, for anyone who joins a society without knowing everything about the organization is indeed a fool. Only those at the top who have passed every test truly know what the Masons are hiding, thus rendering it impossible for anyone outside to know much at all about the group. What does that say about new members or those who are already members but do not know the ultimate secrets? It tells me that fools abound. Unlike authors who out of fear have acted as apologists for the Freemasons, I decline to absolve them of responsibility and guilt. The Freemasons, like everyone else, are responsible for the cleanliness of their home. The occupant of a secret house within a secret house within a secret house cannot clean if he cannot see the number of rooms or what they contain. Their house is a stinking cesspool Look to the Masons for the guilty party if anything happens to me. I believe that they have murdered in the past and that they will murder in the future. I firmly believe that all adult secret societies that practice degrees of initiation and consider the members to be illuminated are branches of the original ages old Illuminati. Their goal is to rule the world. The doctrine of this group is not democracy or communism, but is a form of fascism. The doctrine is totalitarian socialism. You must begin to think correctly. The Illuminati are not communists, but some communists are Illuminati. One monarchism thesis faced democracy antithesis in World War I, which resulted in the formation of communism and the League of Nations synthesis to democracy, and communism thesis faced fascism antithesis in World War II and resulted in a more powerful United Nations synthesis. 3. Capitalism thesis now faces communism antithesis, and the result will be the New World Order, totalitarian socialism synthesis. A 1953 report of California Senate Investigating Committee on Education stated, so-called modern communism is apparently the same hypocritical world conspiracy to destroy civilization that was founded by the Illuminati and that raised its head in our colonies here at the critical period before the adoption of our Constitution. The California Senate understood that communism is the work of the Illuminati. They failed to realize that the Council on Foreign Relations and the Trilateral Commission are also the work of the Illuminati. You must begin to think correctly. The enemy is not communism, it is Illuminism. The communists are not going to be much happier with the New World Order than we. I hope to show that most modern secret societies, and especially those that practice degrees of initiation, and that is the key, are really one society with one purpose. You may call them whatever you wish: the Order of the Quest, the Jason Society, the Roshaniah, the Quabala, the Knights Templar, the Knights of Malta, the Knights of Columbus, the Jesuits, the Masons, the ancient and mystical Order of Rosicrucians, the Illuminati, the Nazi Party, the Communist Party, the executive members of the Council on Foreign Relations, the group, the Brotherhood of the Dragon, the Rosicrucians, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberg Group, the Open Friendly Secret Society, the Vatican, the Russell Trust, the Skull and Bones, the Scroll and Key, the Order. They are all the same and all work toward the same ultimate goal, a new world order. Many of them, however, disagree on exactly who will rule this new world order, and that is what causes them to sometimes pull in opposite directions while nevertheless proceeding toward the same goal. The Vatican, for instance, wants the Pope to head the World Coalition. Some want Lord Maitreya to head the New World Order. Lord Maitreya is the front runner. I believe, since witnesses say he was present on the ship at Malta with Bush, Gorbachev, and the 10 regional heads of the New World Order, approximately 200 dignitaries from around the world attended a major conference initiated by Maitreya in London on April 21st and 22nd, 1990. Representatives of governments, including the USA, members of royal families, religious leaders, and journalists, all of whom had met with Maitreya previously, attended the conference. Quote from Prophecy Watch, column of Whole Wheat number 8, Minneapolis. Someone has also spent an awful lot of money announcing his presence. The Pope will have to approve him if Matria is selected, however, and that would fulfill the Bible prophecy in the book of Revelation that states that the first beast will be given his power by Rome. If you can interpret Revelation as I can, then you know that the Pope will ultimately win out and will reign as the second beast. In 1952, an alliance was formed, bringing them all together for the first time in history. The Black families, the Illuminati, the Order, the Vatican, and the Freemasons now work together to bring about the New World Order. All will protest their innocence and will do everything within their power to destroy anyone who suggests otherwise. I will undoubtedly become a target when this book is published. Okay, so this is page 81. I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to bookmark that. Peace and power, y'all. I'm about to take a nap.